when somebody comes to you and asks you what where you're from, as in your gang affiliation. If you're from a rival hood, you're gonna run into some problems, and sometimes if you're not from any hood, you'll run into problems because they know there won't be any retaliation.
Can't you just be like, I'm a good boy?
I'm a f***ing animal! I'm an animal! I'm a f***ing animal!
What up? What's up, G?
What's up, folks? I'm DJ Wonder, and this is Complete Animals. You're getting very few rare episodes because I'm only doing it when I want to speak to somebody who I'm interested in. And my guest to the right of me is somebody who I met many years ago. I was on a radio station, and he happened to be there begging to rap. So I was like, come on up and rap. Anyway, just kidding. And
That's basically what happened, though.
I ended up finding out he was the mayor of Los Angeles, and then that's where we're at now. It's been a couple years, and now we can talk about everything that's happened. His name is FACEVSIT.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me, Wonder.
Wonder,
right?
I'm going to refer to you as Face for the rest of this.
Fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
Just so people know. But if everybody wants to find you right now before we start the interview, where can they find you online?
FACEVSIT on everything. It's real easy. Everywhere. FACEVSIT.
All right. So a while ago, I had interviewed you with a group that you're currently in, and it's gone through some changes, I'm sure. But tell them what the name of your group was and how I helped influence the name of it now. Go ahead.
The MMupCLAN, MupCLAN, MupCLAN, according to Mr. DJ Wonder here. He made a whole spoof. Like, it was crazy. I was telling somebody about that recently. Like, you really pushed into that Muppet shit. Yeah, it was great.
Okay. It was MupCLAN was what was the... It was like an acronym. What did the actual...
Monster Mashup Clan.
Monster Mashup Clan. And I thought it sounded like some kind of like DJ producers in like the mid 2000s who are putting like AC/DC instrumentals over top of like 50 Cent vocals, like the Monster Mashup Clan.
That would be dope.
Okay,
actually.
that was one. And then two, I was like, MupCLAN. You guys went by MupCLAN. And I was like, dog, that sounds like the Muppets.
So now it's MMupCLAN.
So now
because of you.
MMup. Because I was like, also you could go like MMup. Like what's the sign?
This is how we throw it up. It's
Okay.
M. You see M. It's like M's, two M's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now, what is
Do
the?
it. Why don't you
and
do
I'm not gonna throw any symbols up on this thing because I was about to ask you, like, what is the coming from? You're from Los Angeles.
Born and raised.
All right, coming from LA. What is the protocol on creating your own sign with your friends? I'm not going to say gang sign, but your own sign with your friends. What if you happen to step on toes with somebody? Because I've been told I can't even wear like White Sox hats. I can't wear random things.
Yeah, don't wear that.
Yeah. So what's the protocol on creating your own like rap crew signs?
I mean, you just got to make sure they're not signs that resemble any other hood signs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You become pretty familiar with them growing up in LA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what everybody throws at you. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting.
All right. Well, I'm definitely not going to do it, but thank you for showing everybody out there. And if anybody has a problem with it, once again, where can they find you?
At FACEVSIT.
All
I
right,
want
man.
that smoke. Go ahead.
I'm sure you do. Let's get ready to get into it. Watch out. It's coming. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, there it is. Now,
Dang, like it made me jump, bro.
no, this is serious conversation time now. We're going to take it back. We're going to talk about where FACEVSIT came from. Let's talk about your childhood. What went wrong? Why are you a rapper?
Streets of LA, man. They harden you in a way that only LA can.
All right, what part of LA, seriously? Where were you born at? What section of LA were you born
I
at?
was born in downtown LA, in a Good Samaritan, but I was raised in South Central.
Downtown LA, like near Skid Row. From people that are out of town, that's probably all they know about downtown LA.
Right by the 10 freeway, where 1 and the 10 and the 10. That's where Good Samaritan is. It's like literally the center, the heart of the city.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, all I
right
think,
next to the shit. Yeah.
besides Skid Row, I think about the Cecil Hotel. Those are things that I'm interested in when I go to like cities. I want to find like haunted locations, and I feel like the whole city's a haunted location. There's like nobody there, right?
LA is crazy, bro. The Cecil. It's funny. I had a job interview there many years ago. When it was still called the Cecil. Now it's called the Stay on Main. They try to rebrand, and they kept asking me in the interview, are you aware of everything that goes on here? The what's it called? The reputation that this place has. And I had no idea, bro. This was before this super famous now. There was a documentary on it. And when I left, it was just the weirdest interview. I didn't get the job.
What was the position?
It was I was gonna be a barista because I was a barista.
So the hauntings are so bad that even people who are just like working daytime at the coffee shop might be startled.
Yeah, I guess, man. But when I'm telling you, it was the weirdest interview I've ever had. Like, it just felt weird. And I found out later, it was so weird. Like, I found out like the day after I was talking to my homegirl, and she was like, that place is like super haunted. And I was just like, no, and I'm glad I didn't get that job, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then I found out there was like a serial killer killing people there. Like, I'm straight.
Yeah, I feel like LA in general, which I've started. For a long time, I've researched a lot of this stuff, especially like different parts of America. There's major ground formation that leads to like tectonic plates and everything over like England, and that's why that's a hotspot for paranormal activity. But just like LA itself, it just seems very dark. And I don't know if it's because of all of the dreams that have faded away from everybody moving there and then deciding to have to live a normal life, and it just becomes a dark place and people deciding they'll do whatever it takes to make it. Who knows? Have you ever felt that kind of energy in your home city?
It's funny you say that. I do kind of feel that way. I say that in one of my songs. Like, basically, it's a boulevard of broken dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like what is that? There's
James Dean.
Yeah. So it's like it feels that way. It feels like everybody goes there to make it, and 99% of them don't, and they just end up either like on Skid Row or going back or just devoid of who they used to be. So yeah, maybe that's all that energy that is why we have the most serial killers ever. Who knows?
It's a great statistic to be number one at.
Yeah, man, at least we number one at something.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the city, and because I have a lot of questions about the artistic community there and where people should move and everything else that's happening currently, because I feel like everybody is kind of in a state of limbo. Nobody knows where they want to go, where the center of everything is, and we'll talk about that. But first, back to the MMupCLAN. What is this group? Is it a group of friends, and who's currently members of it?
So currently it's me, Barlos, who's a rapper, and Sneaky, who's a DJ and a rapper and a streamer. He's a man of many hats. We're just a collective of people who are just dope at what they do, monsters in their own right, and we mashed up, hence the name, Monster Mashup Clan, and we just do our thing together. We have songs together and we have songs individually. Currently, most of the time, unless he's booked, Sneaky's DJing for me when I perform. Unless I booked him first, but yeah, he's not in Miami with me right now, so he was booked.
I don't know why you're in Miami, because I don't know where we're at. We're in the ether. We're not in any current place.
I'm sorry. We're in the ether, but when we exit this ether,
he's
not in Miami. With you. Yeah, he's not with
me. So what happens when you have a DJ like Sneaky? Do you have to pay him a portion of any fee that you're getting, or what?
Yeah, I pay him with love, lots of love. Now we usually split, if it's a good payment, we split it. He also gets his own DJ gigs and like kills it. You know how that goes. And sometimes I'll go and I'll hype him up on stage.
I don't.
Yeah.
It's been rough, man.
It's hard out here, huh?
It's rough. All right, cool. So that's the crew. But how about you as a rapper? So you grew up, you said downtown LA, and then where did you move? Right outside?
No, I grew up in South Central.
No, excuse me, born downtown, then South Central. And how was that growing up around neighbors? What were your neighbors looking like? How was it interacting with kids in elementary school? What was that all like?
Well, South Central is huge. So I grew up in the area that's like the West Adams district, right? And my neighbors, I mean, it was crazy because like the house, you've been to LA. The houses are like great, they're beautiful, right? We got porches, we got lawns and everything, but then like people getting shot right in front of your lawn. But growing up, I had a crazy old white neighbor who was like super racist. Like, she hated us just because we weren't white. It was crazy. And she would call the cops for anything we did. We were kids, right? That was my neighbor to one side, and then on the other side I don't remember what they did, but our block was straight, but as soon as you went to that next block, it was like you couldn't walk down it without getting banged on. It was crazy.
What does that mean for people that might not know? What is banged on?
Oh, getting banged on is when somebody comes to you and asks you what you're, where you're from, as in your gang affiliation, like where you from, and they tell you that their gang affiliation, and let you know where you're at. And if you're from a rival hood, you're gonna run into some problems. And sometimes if you're not from any hood, you'll run into problems because they know there won't be any retaliation.
Can't you just be like, I'm a good boy?
Is that what you would have done, Wonder?
Most likely.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have. I've been in different places. One time I went with. It's because of Angela Yee, man. Angela Yee, she's a radio host, so people don't know who she is. But me and her were doing something for BET Awards, and I guess J-Rock liked her, and then this other dude, Tajay, who was like a Spanish dude, but he was like a big Crip member, and J-Rock is a big Blood member. Came together to hang out with Angela Yee because I guess they both liked her, or they just like being around her. I don't know, but we ended up going to a reggae party in the Hoover area, and J-Rock
was there.
is a Blood.
Yeah.
So it was kind of weird. He was very on guard the whole time. Also, I had on, for some reason, I thought it was cool back then, I had on bright red leather loafers. Like loafers are, like
I know what loafers
boat
are.
shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, and I was wearing those for some reason. And I don't know, man. Maybe just because of the way I looked, I didn't get picked on or confronted or banged on, as you say.
They thought you were a cop, bro.
Most likely. I was the most stylish undercover cop you could have seen. I'll tell you that much.
Definitely.
But yeah, so I understand that there must be some kind of politics that go on throughout the different sections. And how were you able to navigate through that? What did you tell them?
I don't bang. That's all you gotta say. I don't bang. Sometimes you ended up fighting them. Sometimes you ended up running for your life. It just happens. Mm-hmm. Whichever way you decide to go.
Now, did you have people looking over you that maybe were in the?
I had some OGs. I had a couple OGs that looked out for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But for the most part, you gotta, like, it doesn't matter if you're not from somewhere and somebody bangs on you. Like, you could drop a name. Trust me, it's happened to me, and they'll be like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care where you're from, where your so and so is, or whatever it is. And you still gotta handle your own. You still gotta have hands. You gotta take care of yourself. And if you're in certain environments, you're gonna find out. So.
Why is it a thing that you even have to go through? Like, do you ever think like just me personally, like, I mean, I guess people were getting in fights in my high school just over like stupid stuff, but you didn't like really fear for your life. Do you ever think like, what if you had just grown up in a place where you never even had to think about stuff like that? And how do you move forward, like starting a family and everything else? Do you want them to grow up in a place where they never have to think about those things?
I mean, I definitely did think about that, like, especially, when you grow up and you get out of it, you don't really notice. It's like, it's just your reality. It's your normal, right? But then when you start talking to people and you tell them stories about how you grew up, they're like, yo, that's not normal. Like, that's not how it should be. It's like, what was my normal? Fortunately, my kids, we live in a different side of LA. It's still got its hood areas, but they're in, they haven't had to deal with it. I kind of make sure to guard them from that world,
Mm-hmm. You're like in the movies, like, something happens and there's like a family man, and then something happens like where they try to rob him, and you realize he has like a past as like an assassin or something like that. Is that
yeah, that's me.
They haven't seen that side of you yet, right?
They haven't. Thank God. Yeah. Thank God. John Wick comes out, it's just gonna be bad.
So during school, is that where you kind of like discovered a passion for being an MC, or when did that happen?
Well, I was a poet. Like, I liked writing poetry first, and then my boy Smurf read it actually, and he was like, you gotta put this on a beat. He taught me how to
You wrote it to him? You're like, Smurf?
No, my sister showed it to him because they were friends, and she was like, check this out. He rapped, whatever. He took me to his home studio setup, recorded me like line for line, like that Eazy-E.
You punched in each
yeah,
line?
I was horrible, bro. I could not rap back then. It was horrible.
Do you have natural rhythm, or something you had to learn?
You know what? I think I had to learn it. It was something I had to learn. I think everybody has rhythm. You kind of just gotta learn how to unblock it, like, from your nerves and all that shit. Mm-hmm. Now I definitely have that, but yeah, it took a while for me to get it right. But once you hear it, once I heard it, I fell in love with it. I was like, this is crazy. It was like that instant gratification. It was just like you heard it right back. It was a dope song. It really wasn't dope looking back at it now, but I thought it was dope then.
Now, originally, did you start writing poetry to try to get girls, or did you see something on TV like, I want to be a poetry slam artist?
No, I just liked it. I was always kind of like real, like I used to draw a lot and write poetry. I just like to do it. My uncle's a published poet. My grandfather was really into like reading and encyclopedias. Like growing up, my uncle would literally make me, to play his video games, he'd make me go read the encyclopedia and go back and report the chapter to him so I could play a level. So every level I had to do that. So yeah,
It's a fun game.
yeah, it was cool.
You're not
I learned a
special,
lot.
dog. My parents are into reading too, bro, and they're also into like writing cursive also. So
Oh, you was writing cursive?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
crazy, right?
damn, I never learned that.
Yeah, dog, and we learned the ABCs and all that. So
The
don't
ABC.
think
You're
you're
throwing
special.
shit up now, bro. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was nothing. It was neutral. It was actually sign language. Okay, so that turned into your first song there, and then it just kind of like steamrolled from that point. You got the bug that you had to keep going?
Yeah, I got the bug. Then I just went on LimeWire. I'm not gonna front. I went on LimeWire and downloaded everything hip hop that I can find.
Okay, so yeah, you didn't grow up listening to
I grew up. Well, I was like 12 at the time, and I mean, hip hop was everywhere. It was on Power 106. It was K-Day wasn't there anymore. It didn't come back until later on, but yeah, it was around me, but I didn't really know it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I heard what was on the radio. I didn't know the non-radio singles.
Correct.
I went back and like studied everything I could get my hands on. Then like I remember my aunt gave me my first Tupac CD. Really, I kind of stole it from her, but I'll just say she gave it to me now. And like, yeah, man, I fell in love with like Thug's Mansion. Really spoke to me because like around the time I heard it, I had a homie that died. So yeah, it's hip hop is crazy. I fell in love with it and I just couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of did the same thing. I wasn't allowed to listen to parental advisory albums, so I had to go back and rediscover everything. And
Wow.
yeah,
So
that's
you,
the truth.
I mean, hey, you probably know more hip hop than I do for sure.
I definitely took a lot in, man. I was very interested from a very young age, and it was kind of a forbidden thing, and not just hip hop in general, anything like that, you're not supposed to look at, whatever. But I understand why my parents did it, and I probably would do the same thing to my kids, man. I don't want them to hear anything. Do your kids hear you curse in real life and also on songs?
Well, I'm human, so I definitely curse from time to time. But most of my music that I don't curse in. There is like 1 or 2 songs that I curse in. Actually, it's 2 songs that I curse in.
You must be really mad in those 2 songs, huh?
I was going through some things, man. I was going through some things. I was at a point where I was just like, whatever came, I would just write it down and record it. And it's interesting, those songs are pretty popular. So
have you ever well, we're also going to talk about this later, but you're a sober guy. You don't really do any substances or drink anything. Maybe when you did in the past, did you ever just like have like a stream of conscious like recording session, or you're just like wilding out? Like,
yeah, I did that a lot.
Did anything ever come of that? Or?
Yeah, actually. Well, I want to say, well, I did a freestyle thing for this thing that I was doing, 30 for 30. It was called 30 for 30. I was doing 30 songs in 30 days with 30 videos. And there was one that was just a freestyle. We just put the mic on and freestyled and filmed it. But most of that felt like that because I was literally just writing shit, whatever came to mind, and recording it because it was 30 songs in 30 days. It's I don't know why I thought that was a smart idea, but it was probably the drugs and the alcohol. So
It was probably the demonic spirits coming through those substances and invading your body. And
because I'm in LA.
Yes, just in general, that's what happens when you take those bad substances, is that they come into your brain and they make you think that you're talented because
shit.
Satan was a musical angel before he was cast into the Hades.
Lucifer, the bringer of light. Yes.
Exactly. And so that's what you're thinking, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Do you ever have things come to you in dreams?
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah.
Really? Any like song ideas and stuff like that?
No. Just like, well, not song ideas per se, but like there's concepts that come from dreams, I want to say. But I always feel like when I would freestyle a lot and or just write and let it flow, and like you're pulling from a source code. Like, have you ever had an idea and then somebody famous does the same thing? I feel like we're all like pulling from the same stream of consciousness. It's just like what we do with the idea, if we execute it or not. You know what I'm saying?
So you feel good about yourself, like, oh man, I guess we're on the same wavelength, but that guy is like probably 5 times
richer.
Yeah, I feel like that all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like
I was gonna do that, but then he did it.
Oh,
so.
Too bad. It's like, yeah, dude, I don't stay the course, because I feel like I'm ahead of a lot of things, or just because I want to be different. And then once everybody starts doing it, and I could probably monetize off of something like that, it's a wrap. I'm on to the next thing, or I want something new.
You gotta circle back, man.
I guess.
Circle back, but then you're bored.
Yeah, and then it's very passe. It's like wearing like skinny jeans and stuff after everybody's wearing baggy jeans, and then you want to go back to skinny jeans.
Do you wear skinny jeans?
I'm wearing Dickies currently.
Oh, he's a thug. He's wearing Dickies.
My grandfather and my father had car lots and gas stations, so that's where I grew up.
Oh, legit. So the reason that,
you actually would wear them, like, so I guess that.
Well, that's why essays wear them, because they would take their clothes from their grandfathers and their uncles and their pops, and they would wear them. They were bigger, they're working class clothes.
And then why do people sag their pants in jail?
I don't know why people sag their pants in jail. I never been in jail, so I'm not gonna talk on that. But I will say I never did. My pops and my unks made sure I did not play with that shit. I don't know why, but do some research, you might find out why.
All right. So what was the first project that you actually took seriously and people could check out? And what was it called?
Oh, it's called Black and Brown. So growing up in LA, there was a lot of black and brown beef. Latino and black people would always beef it. Jail politics leaking into the street, whatever it is. I actually got jumped and stabbed because I was Latino hanging out with black people. So when I finally got the chance to decide what my project was gonna be, it was called Black and Brown. I did 2 volumes, Black and Brown Volume 1 and Volume 2. And I think you could still find Volume 2 on SoundCloud. So
what happened to Volume 1? Is it like
it was only CDs?
Oh, okay.
It was only CDs. It exists. I've had fans that still have the mixtape with like the original. You know what deco markers are?
Mm-hmm.
So they were written deco on blank CDs, Black and Brown Volume 1. It was. They're still out there, but good luck trying to find it. I don't even have a copy.
If anybody has one, he'll buy it back to you at a great price.
No, I won't. Okay. You could keep it. It's cool.
Listening back to the first thing you've done, do you think you've advanced a lot? Like, is it you like wince sometimes, like listening to it, or you think it was a good starting point?
I think it was. Well, by the time I put it out, I think it was a good starting point. If my boy Smurf, he says he still has all the files. If he ever were to release those early recordings that never saw the light of day, I don't know how I'd feel about it. It'd be hurtful. But the one thing I will say, it's interesting, as you're younger, it feels like almost a lot that goes on in your life has a greater impact. So you kind of feel deeper when you write about certain things, and you kind of lose a little bit of that as you grow up. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I want to talk about that, because I think, how do you maintain the like passion, desire, everything as you get older, especially when you have to start dealing with real life issues? And I think that's the problem. I think that's why, the arts in general are a young person's game, and it's something we all have to deal with. And you're kind of seeing it now, because people like generation before us, me, at this time, they were the pioneers, right, especially with like rap and some other art forms as well, that had never really you'd never seen anybody before them. So now they're kind of like, you see them, people dying actually from old age and everything else. Now, as you are getting into that, and younger generations younger generations are coming up, how do you shift, and like, what do you think about? I mean, I guess there are like legacy acts that are still touring, almost like Rolling Stones,
Yeah, now it seems like hip hop is getting there for sure. It's crazy.
So is this a viable profession for somebody for their whole life? What do you think?
I think it is. I think there's so many ways to make it a profession, not just necessarily like, let me put out a single, it hits the radio and I tour the world, which would be great, but like, let's be realistic, a lot of people don't get to see that happen to them in their life. Especially now, it's like if you make something with substance, it's most likely not going to go viral on TikTok because it's got a lot of substance and it's got a lot of lyrics, and they just want repetitive. What did you say? You said something recently. Repetitive stuff that you just sing all day. It was pretty
Nursery
funny.
rhymes?
For repetitive nursery rhymes that you sing along all day in your head and make up. But what, like, so I feel like for instance, for me, like I got a deal for sync and licensing, which is like another stream of income, right? Where you get your music placed on movies and television and video games, and that's where you get money from, right? So that's a profession right there. You're making music that's getting placed, and there it is. And then also there's the music, the money you get from making actual shows happen and whatnot, throwing events. There's a lot of ways to do it without being that pop out artist, right? You also can help younger artists get on, right? I don't know if there's money in that. I haven't done that yet.
I think that's, I mean, coming from a DJ's perspective, I think that's where a lot of money is right now, actually, because if you can find a venue that needs like programming these DJs every day of the week or whatever, you're like, oh, I'll help you with that. And then you tell the DJ, oh yeah, it's $300 a night, and it's really they're gonna give you $500, so you take $200 off of everybody's pay.
Okay, so I'm writing this down.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. I don't do it. I don't book any events, so you can't say that I'm doing this. But I know people are doing this to me as we speak. But whatever, dude. I'll take what I can get at this point. Literally, I'm taking everything I can get. It's a real shame. We'll talk about that offline.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's one way to do it. So I guess that's what everybody tries to do. Everybody tries to have their own. They get signed to a label, and then they want to have their own subsidiary label where they find acts that they can rip off the same way they were ripped off, and it all evens out. It's a circle of life. Lion King status.
Personally, though, I put myself in a position where like I'm eating, right? Like I make money otherwise. I have kids that I take care of, so I could say no and say yes to whatever I want to say no and say yes to. So I liked that I can make music that I actually like, so I'm never worried about getting robbed by my label because I'm independent, right? And I get to go and do shows where I want to like reach out to people. I feel like I fit in, like Miami, where we're at outside of the ether, right? I feel like my sound makes sense here, so I want to do more shows here. So I'll come out here and do shows and enjoy myself as a rapper. I don't think anybody out there should try to get into this game and think that being broke is cute and not having a day job is cute. It's not, bro. Get a job.
I don't think anybody out there should try to get in this game at all. I think you should leave all the opportunity just for us, and just don't even start, okay?
Don't.
You're just going to see the same faces over and over. I don't care because we made it, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. You can do it as a hobby, but there's no room for you.
There's no room at all. No, but the thing that you were talking about, how people kind of pimp out venues and like get artists that way, it happens. But like the Monster Master Clan, my crew, and other crews that we work with, like Sneaky's part of a collective called Friends Over Followers. I think I could say I'm part of it too. I perform with them. The person, L.A. Bellatini, who throws it, she's very much about paying her people, and so are we, and like being fair to the point where we'll take losses to make sure that the people that are actually performing are getting paid. Like like I don't know her business, but I know I will. I know Sneaky has for sure. You know, we've taken losses, or we just didn't make any money off an event that we invested a lot of time on because we wanted to pay the DJs that did come to play. You know, and that's just how we move, though. A lot of people don't move like that because they also don't set themselves up in a position where we're gonna eat regardless. Like, this is what we do because we love the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I've noticed that. And like, I don't know, I guess lower tier cities is what you would call them. I don't know, but I guess cities that are not like the major 3 or 4 cities, whatever. People that have their own communities throwing events pay more, or at least they're taking what they make from the bar and giving the DJ more. I don't know if they actually just pay more, whatever what it is, but they're more generous than if you go to like New York or LA, whatever, down here, Miami. You're not getting as much from if you're traveling to other places. But I don't know if it's because they're more hungry, or actually they're just, you know, they feel better about the whole community in general, where they're spreading the wealth. Who knows, man?
Who knows? I think it's all about community, though. So I think you're probably right. They just care more about their community.
Okay.
And then it's like, all right, so in those smaller towns, I'd say that it's probably unlikely that there's 1,000 DJs ready to take over that night in that venue. You know what I'm saying? In LA, there's thousands probably. DJs, rappers that are ready to just rap. Give me the chance. People go there for that. Miami, definitely. Like, everybody comes here to DJ.
Trust me, it's everywhere, man. You know, that's the thing. There's no real hub for artists anymore, because you can stay in whatever city you're in, and as long as you're popping on the internet, then you don't need to be anywhere. Whereas you used to have to go to New York to become a rapper. Like, you would have had to fly out, and you would have had to have your A&R training and everything else, or they probably would have done it in LA also. They had, you know, offices there.
Even as a younger artist, like, I wanted to go to New York. I would go to New York, and I would get on shows however I can and rap however I could, because it's the Mecca, right? You want to be there. You think you're going to meet people. I agree. Yeah, there was hubs. LA was definitely a hub at one point, right? Now even acting isn't really just in LA. It's all over. It's crazy.
All right. Well, I was going to say, like, wait to talk about it, but let's just do it now, because I think this is important. The things that, I don't know if it's just because my personal, like, feed and all my social media is, I guess, is directed towards my interests, but it just seems constantly to be coming up, whether it's videos of people doing interviews on the street saying, how much do you make? What do you do for a living? What's great about this city? Blah blah blah. Or if it's just people complaining, I hate this city. I want to move to this city because the grass is always greener. You know what I mean? So, as somebody who's living in Los Angeles right now, is that a place where a young creative person should move to?
No.
Why? Why is that?
It's too expensive, and it's kind of oversaturated. I wouldn't suggest anybody move there unless they have a significant amount of savings or are ready to hustle their ass off. And I'm not saying that you're not, or anybody who was trying to be creative, but a lot of times I feel like people think that they're gonna go to this town, they're gonna hit it big off top, and great. But a lot of people come to LA and end up hating it because they don't understand that there's people in LA that are from there that are also trying to make it. So you're competing with them on top of with the people that are like you that are coming from out of town trying to compete as well for these spots. And it's like rent is crazy. You got to get a job. And if not, you will end up. I've seen so many young, it trips me out. Like, and I mean, I know people that have been homeless and they came and they worked it out and they did make something of themselves, right, from out of town. Like, I know people like that, but it's not everybody. Like, I've seen people that I knew in the scene, like, they're homeless now. Like, you'll see them on the street. It's crazy. It's not for everybody. It's a hard thing to do, and I don't know if that's how it is everywhere else, but in LA, it's, you know, don't let the palm trees fool you. It's a scary place.
Yeah, I mean, but that is basically what you're saying, that anybody could say that. In New York, people could say that as well. Don't come here because it's too expensive, blah, blah, blah. But there's a specific reason why people moved to Los Angeles, and it had to do with the entertainment industry for majority of those people. So what is the state of the entertainment industry in Los Angeles right now? That's really what I'm asking. Like, is there opportunity?
No,
say you have an unlimited bank account. Is there an opportunity for people?
No, there is. There's a lot of people who are like me, I say, that are believing in the culture of creativity. There's a lot of people that want to put people on. I know a good amount of them, right? But you got to really put yourself out there and be ready for it. So in that case, yeah, if you don't have to worry about money, then, like, yeah, you can definitely come to LA. It still exists. The culture does definitely still exist to be able. There's a lot of people who believe in whatever entertainment you're thinking about. You know what I'm saying? There's comedians that are popping and killing it and giving opportunities to new comedians. There's hip hop shows that you can get on just for the love of it, just because you're dope. You know, it's there. It's definitely there, but it's not going to pay you off top. So you just got to be ready for that part.
Okay, is it to the level where it was a few years ago? Has it gone down? Is there more opportunity now? Because I hear people say that it's dead in LA, honestly. Especially from, like, the nightclub perspective, which...
the nightclubs aren't... I wouldn't say that's where they're at right now. I feel like
it's like warehouses and stuff like that are popping off, but
yeah, warehouse. That's exactly, like, warehouses and smaller venues and people who have, like, a collective, I think, is where it's at. Like, so you got to become part of those communities. You can't just go and get on. Like, you got to really become part of a community now.
So you got to, like, pretend that you actually like these people to get.
I mean, I think you find your tribe. Okay. But yeah, I guess you could pretend too. Right. But that inauthentic shit will get caught. You'll get caught. Like, it'll catch up to you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're inauthentic about it, people gonna find out eventually. You see that happen too, where you find out these fools are just faking the funk the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of that, I don't even want to talk about this Kendrick Lamar crap. Like, whoop-de-doo, it's like the greatest thing to ever come out of your city in the last 10 years. So
Whoa.
how is that not true?
No, you're actually, you know what, I will say that it's I mean it was a unifying act for LA hip hop for sure. I think it was dope.
Okay, what is the climate now that song has come out? Like, do people want to collaborate more, or are people still hating on each other, or what's the deal?
Well, I mean, it seems like from what I hear, there's because I'm not from a hood, right? So, but I hear there's like actual talks of like peace treaties and shit between hoods. It's always been kind of interesting though, like certain sets would still collab, like, you know, Blood would collab with a Crip, whatever, or people with those affiliations. So it just seems like it's more at peace and we're more unified. Like we kind of like, he kind of put the banner up and we all came for it, you know what I'm saying? That moment where he had all the different people from all the different sets on stage was a big moment for LA, and I thought it was epic, you know what I'm saying? And it was just dope that, you know, Kendrick Lamar won that beef. But anyway, he
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I think.
Well, you don't think he won?
Nah, it's for the public perception for sure, and I guess that's what counts.
That is what counts in that situation.
But what I want to know is, like, to me, it feels like almost like a moment of segregation, whereas I don't know if it has to be racial segregation or a hip hop purist segregation. Whereas if you are not completely 100% involved in the quote unquote culture, that you're ostracized from the community.
Really?
You're utilizing "not like us" as the tagline, basically. It's like you're either in or out. You know what I mean? Have you noticed that at all?
Nah. But I guess it's because I'm completely immersed in the
You're immersed
in the hip hop world. I haven't noticed that. Have you gone through that?
Nah, I don't really care anymore. And nor do I care to talk to anybody that is like so immersed in it that much where it make a difference. And I was like, well, okay, man, have your thing.
I don't know, because to me, I mean, like, hip hop's always been about taking pieces from what you grew up with, like the cultures that made you, and like creating this sound, right? This hip hop, whether it be your lyrics that are like mine are in Spanish and English, or you just talk how your family did, or you take old songs and make them into like these boom bap beats, right? Or these loops, and you make them into that because that's what you grew up with. It wasn't hip hop, you made it hip hop. So that whole like pushing people out because they aren't immersed in the exact same boom bap culture that you are. Like, me and my homies always talk about how like that hip hop purist shit doesn't really roll with us. So I never saw that with They Not Like Us. That's crazy. I never even looked at it from that perspective, but that's interesting.
I got it, man. You're like Captain Planet. You're bringing everybody together. It's great.
Yeah, man. Black and brown.
Okay. And what about white and Asian and everybody else?
For me, it was just there needed to be peace between black and brown.
Okay.
That was why I said that, but it's love for everybody.
All right. Okay. Well, speaking about like brown in general, you do a lot of Spanish and English stuff in your music. Spanglish.
That's what I like to call it. It's what it's called, actually.
Do you think that's opened up a lot of doors for you? For like your latest single, Dime Tu, is that the correct title?
Dime Tu, yeah. Perfect Spanish. Have
Thank
you been
you.
practicing that?
Somehow I've been practicing. I don't know why. So it has a Spanish title, but you rap in English on it.
And Spanish.
And Spanish. Okay, Spanglish. We got it.
Spanglish. I'm trying to tell you, it's a brand thing.
So what made you want to lean into that? Did you see there was like a lane for that, or is that just something that's your natural inclination?
No, I've always done that.
Yeah.
Well, not always. It's a lot. When I first started rapping, I was scared to rap in Spanish, even though it was my first language. I was scared to rap in Spanish because I didn't want to be put in a box or ostracized in the way that you kind of mentioned. Actually, now that you say that, yeah, I just realized that that's something I was fearful of, that people would be like, oh, that's a gimmick, he's just trying to do it to stand out, or be like, oh, that's just a fool that's trying to be like a Lil Rob or whatever. And I don't rap anything like a Lil Rob, even though I love Lil Rob, the Wicked Wino. That was something I grew up with.
They probably thought you were trying to be like Baby Bash, the greatest.
Or Baby Bash. I love Baby Bash, man. I've actually, I thought I love this music. I love MC Magic. I love Frankie. What's his name?
Frankie J?
Yeah, I love all of them, bro. They're dope to me.
Yeah.
Come on, Dime Tu is a love song. It definitely took some inspiration from that.
All right.
But my boy Preach was the first person to be like, yo, you need to rap in Spanish. Stop not using that's like part of your arsenal. Why wouldn't you use it? And I did, and that was, ever since then I never looked back. I loved it. It felt so natural. And like I also just feel like when I do rap in Spanish, my relationship with the beat is just, it's fluid. Maybe because it's a you know, love language, as they call it. So it's always been something that's part of me. I actually used to get made fun of it until recently. I want to say until like 2017, people would be like, oh, that's just a gimmick. I've had people say that, or like, oh, you don't know what to say in English, so you just switch to Spanish. Like, yeah, fool, like, why wouldn't I? Like, it's who I am. And now Latinos are kind of like taking over the game, or have taken over the game. And it's cool to see, right? It's also interesting to see like people who didn't ever do it. But I always say like that inauthentic shit, it comes out. Like,
what do you think would be more outlandish? So you just talked about the Kendrick Lamar and like white rappers and stuff, like white guys trying to rap, or like a white guy trying to do like reggaeton, or like learning literally on the spot, like right before he records it, like how to say the phrase.
Oh
or whatever.
my god, bro! I think that'd be horrible.
Could we try that?
Okay.
You just feed me. No, I'm not saying right now, but in
I
general,
was about to give you something.
I want to take over the Latin market.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Like everybody else tries to take over things.
I'm joking.
I know. But have you seen? Have you had more opportunity to go to like other countries that might be interested?
Currently, yeah, I got something in the works, possibly be in Colombia sometime this year, and I'm putting that together, and it's because I rap in Spanish. And Shelly is actually the girl who's on that song. She's Colombian. And we just dropped a new single. It's called Yeah, I Started It. It's more like a pop rock song, but I have a verse on it, and I rap on it, so it's pretty cool. And I rap in Spanish, Spanglish.
Would you go full blown like Latin artist if it was the right time? And
I mean, I am a full blown Latin artist.
I know. No hip hop influence.
I don't think I can. I think hip hop is so much a part of me. Like I don't think I could ever not be that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not even talking like Bad Bunny reggaeton artist. I'm talking about like a crooner or something like that. If they're
if I could sing, I probably would beat that, bro. If I could sing, I'd probably be like the Latino Nate Dogg. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? That would be ill.
So who is that? I'm trying to think who does that.
Nobody. There's no Latino Nate Dogg.
I don't know.
That would be ill.
I think that you just come across something right there. Let's go double up your vocals, and I'm sure it'll make it sound good.
Yeah, man. THX, if you're listening, we got to work on my vocals.
THX was the producer. Are you doing a full project with him?
So THX actually made my first single when we had just met for the first time. I had just dropped that single. It's called Loco. He made that beat, which is like kind of what gave me my sound per se, which is like that Latin hip hop, like trumpets and stuff, Latin sounds with the heavy hip hop in it. And now we're making a whole album like that, which is actually more dipping into the Latin sounds. Dime Tu is one of the songs on this album. We're still working all the songs out, but we've recorded a lot, and I love the way it sounds. It sounds the most me anything has ever sounded. It's basically like me rapping over some street meets cumbia. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope.
All right. And what kind of parties in LA are kind of geared towards that, like Latin and hip hop and electronic stuff? Like, is there stuff going on?
Well, I mean, the number one crew out there is Subsuelo crew. They do like world music, but like they've put me on stages, and I think it's a lot because of my sound that they've put me on. They don't put every rapper on stage, you know what I'm saying? They know a lot. DJ Ethos is deep in the community. Canyon, he's deep in the community. Canyon actually, and Ethos spins on it, but Canyon actually hosts Alternativo, which is like the show on K-Rock for Latin alternative artists. And I've been on it because of them. But yeah, I'd definitely do it with them. I'd love to do an album release like where I have live instrumentation for all those sounds, and it's with them. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be that party. But there's a lot of parties that are similar to that, but nobody does it like Subsuelo.
Okay, Subsuelo. You brought me to a couple of their events. It was very dope.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did, huh?
Yeah, you did. We were there partying. what is the overall goal, man? Like, do you really want to like blow up? Are you doing this for fun? Like, is this something you just need to get off of your soul, or what's the deal?
I mean, it's something I do. I feel like I got a lot to say still. I feel like there's a sound that I'm bringing that I think the world needs to hear. At the same time, yeah, I want to blow up. Like, come on, man. I want to tour the world. I want to do all of that.
Is it more for money or more for experiences?
Experiences, I think. Like I said, man, like I'm not in a position where like I'm dying for money. More money would always be nice because we know we live in a world where we have to have it. But the experiences that I've had through hip hop already, like I've gone to Europe off of it. I've gone to Mexico. I mean, I've gone to Mexico otherwise, but going somewhere as a rapper, as an artist is just different. You're received differently and you're respected differently. It's like you're bringing culture to them to enjoy, you know? So, I mean, I want to blow up, but I'm also doing it because I love this shit. Like, I love it. This is what I do.
I mean, you talked earlier about that you do have kids, and and you also are in a relationship. Is that correct?
Yeah, married.
Okay, I used to this really used to puzzle me. I used to think that rappers that were in relationships were kind of like wasting spots of being a rapper because you're not supposed to be in a relationship, dog. What are you gonna all those experiences? What are you gonna do? Like, you're just gonna be a dedicated man going to different countries, exploring architecture.
God willing, I'll have my wife with me.
Okay, there you go.
Bring my kids with me. My wife's in Miami right now. You know what I'm saying?
Is that something hard to do though, as an artist?
I mean, before I was sober, it was definitely more challenging to control myself. But I think everything good in life requires discipline, and the discipline is staying true to the relationship you have, and whatever understandings you have, whatever, as long as you keep it real with your partner, like, it is what it is, right? And you just got to have a discipline to respect that. So yeah.
All right, buddy. We'll see how you're tested when you pop off. We'll see if you're singing the same tune.
I love that you say win. That's great.
Yeah, man, we're all gonna pop off eventually, even in our own minds.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's happening in my mind. I'm already there, dog.
Okay, that's all right. So, we talked about the single that's out now, and you have another new single. But is that her project?
That's hers. That's her song. That's actually, we did that first, though. We did that song first.
And the name of it again, so people can check it out?
Yeah, I started it. YAESTARDE by Shelly featuring Face, produced by the homie Lechuga. Really dope producer. He also does some real hip hop stuff. He does everything with her, though. And yeah, I mean, it's an awesome song. It's an awesome song. I honestly was kind of worried that the people who are into my music wouldn't enjoy it, but when we dropped the video, everybody loves the song. I was tripping out.
It's a new world. You would be surprised who likes what, man.
Right.
And then I think that's the challenge also, is that there's so much going on. How do you like actually get your audience and your community? Like you said, we're all trying to find it. In order for you to blow up, I guess now you're gonna have to have some kind of online presence. What are you doing to kind of change your strategy or move forward in that aspect?
Well, I do work with a marketing company that helps me with my social media.
Would you suggest that for upcoming people?
I'd say do as much organically as you can, man, and find something you're good at. And like, I've seen it. I've seen people that I'm close with that blew up over something that they love doing, and it's something that, you know, now they're known for. It's their brand, and they get to travel the world, whatever it is. You know, I'm still trying to figure out what exactly hits the hardest for me on all these social medias, but I do find that people just like to see me rap, especially in Spanglish. So like, whenever I do post up rap videos of me just rapping, people love it. So it seems to work. I just recently posted one up. I mean, it's not viral per se, but for me, it hit crazy numbers. It hit like,
don't even say.
Yeah,
people are gonna look at like, that's nothing.
Yeah,
no matter how big.
For me, it was a
is.
Big number, right? Yeah. For me, it was a huge number because I usually get pretty good numbers on my reels and whatnot, but this was way bigger than most of my stuff, and it was just me rapping, literally just me one take rap, like, and people seem to like that from me. So that's something I just need to do more of, but also being a father and having kids and being in a relationship and rapping and everything and having a day job and taking care of business, it's hard to put out rap videos every day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have those things, and I don't even really want to do any videos every day, but I think it's what people have to do now. Once I'm, you know, also you can put up like questions on. This is on Instagram platform. Like, what do you want to see more of in my content? Blah blah blah. I did that one time, and most of the stuff was like, we want to see you DJ more, and like, and
I know what I want to see more.
Dog,
from you,
I don't even like DJing at this point. I just like I want to talk about people. I want to like I want to do beauty secrets or something like the rest of these people do that pop
Well,
off.
I mean, how
know.
do you look so youthful, sir?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video on that. No, but like I like doing different things besides DJing. But I guess that's what your fans are. What you became, I guess, popular doing is what they want to see you do. So I understand why they want to see you rap.
Right.
But sometimes you want to talk about like what is the latest ride opening up at Universal's.
I mean, I
New
definitely
park.
I'm a Disney head too, so I feel you.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to be a Disney influencer. That's my ultimate goal.
Dude, I tried.
Besides blowing up and
I tried to talk
pretending
my
I don't know
wife
anybody.
into going for that.
What to go to what?
A Disney influencer. I tried to talk her into it. I was
Man.
like, come on, you start getting paid, and then you can get a pass, and then we'll get a pass, and because having a pass for 5 people is a lot of money, bro.
Yeah. Dude, it's not even the passes. It's just like some people make livings off of it for sure, but I really researched this. And
Oh, you did?
Yeah, like how much people actually make off of views and everything. You don't make a lot, but you do make a lot off of brand endorsements.
Oh, that they want to see you wearing
Yeah.
this in Disneyland, right?
Or like I have a new bag that I'm putting everything in, and this is the bag, whatever. Any kind of brand stuff. That's where you make your
I mean,
money.
I have a brand endorsement, so I feel that. I have.
What's your
couple.
brand endorsement?
Well, one of them is Fans Ideas. It's a jersey thing. So like they give me free jerseys. I'm not wearing one right now, but I usually, if you see me in most of my music videos or most of my content, I'm wearing a jersey. It's from them. I get a code and they get paid off of it. So I mean, and I get paid off of whatever amount of sales they get.
All right, go ahead and tell them where they can get
Fans
it from.
Idea. Use FACEVSIT.
What's the website?
Fansidea.com.
Fansidea.com. And
Yeah.
What are they known for? Like
Custom jerseys.
like from movies and like replicas and stuff like that?
No,
or just-
like they have all these different styles, and you could just customize it to whatever you want. Put the numbers on there, put the letters on there, whatever you want it to say or look like. It's
All right,
pretty
I'm
dope.
gonna have to check it out because I'm
Yeah.
gonna really challenge them to see if they're actually gonna put what I really
I
want.
mean, I do my logo. They do my logo on there, so it's
Okay.
cool.
All right, so I guess you're gonna just do more rapping. That's how you're gonna.
I think
Increase your social media
it's funny.
presence?
Lately, I've been kind of playing with it. So I do this other thing called Face Facts, where I tell people like some facts, some bullshit facts.
See, I like stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
it's fun.
have you noticed it get any traction? or-
People like that. It's hard to come up with facts that are like funny. Like I think Valentine's Day was the last one I did. And it was just like, if they're taking you out the day before or the day after Valentine's Day, you're the side chick. Face that fact.
So basically, you're just copying tweets of other people talking about national side chicken.
I mean,
See,
not
now I
that.
understand how this works. Okay,
Okay.
great face. Thanks, man.
Not just that's not the only one,
I know, I'm
man.
joking
Like
with
I've had positive ones too. That's just the last one I did. It was funny. It was a good, quick little jab to do.
I need to dumb down everything just to a base level, and maybe we'll find it.
I think what I think you should do.
What is
if I were to tell you what to do, which I see people doing, and I'm like, Wonder's been doing that shit. Was that whole segment where you
Stump Wonder?
Yeah, stump. Yeah, we'll say Stump
not
Wonder.
everybody does it. Everybody does mashups.
Yeah, but you're the
mashups.
nicest with it, bro. Like I never heard somebody
Like I said, dude. Once I start something, I'm ready to go on to the next thing. That's always been my problem. So.
Nah, you got it.
I don't want to circle back, buddy.
Circle back, man.
All right.
Circle back.
So let's talk about what we have to look forward to within the next year. What are you planning?
I'm definitely dropping more singles off of this album. I don't know if you're gonna get that full album this year, just because I want to make sure that people are ready for it. It's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
Is it even worth putting out a full album? And
That's also it. Like you gotta make sure that these singles are something people want, and then you get enough attention. It's called waterfall dropping. We drop one song, next song.
That sounds crazy.
It is crazy. It's the strategies that like I gotta research because I'm an independent artist. I don't have a huge machine behind me. So the strategies that you have to do today to not get paid for your streams is crazy. It's insane, but whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So yeah, I got that coming. It's gonna be called Two-Face. The last album I had was called Three Faces. You see what I'm doing there?
Nice.
And the Colombian tour. I will be also doing opening up a show for Ali aka Mine, who's a Colombian rapper, in LA and possibly San Francisco. We're working the date out, and
Hopefully not being arrested also in a foreign country.
I would never. Why would I be arrested?
I don't know, man. Just watch out.
I'm not. I'm definitely. Fucking, what is that show? What was that show called? Locked Up Abroad.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna be me, man.
Okay.
No, I've never been to Colombia though, so we'll see what happens. But those shows will be in LA. So those 2 shows will be in LA. I'm gonna go to Colombia with Shelly. It's a different thing. 2 different things.
All right, man.
And then something really exciting. I'm performing at the Ecuadorian Festival August 3rd in LA. So that's exciting for me.
What kind of a festival do Ecuadorians create? What is it?
I mean, it's just all our music, our food, and our culture being spotlighted for a day, Placito Vera, which is pretty dope.
What's the best Ecuadorian food?
It's a dish called encebollado. It's like, I believe it's albacore soup, basically, but it's delicious.
Is that, you mean a fish?
It's a fish, yeah.
All right, man.
You don't like fish?
I'm not a seafood guy.
Okay, well, if you don't like fish, do you like pork?
I eat anything besides most seafood, yeah.
Okay, so we got a dish called fritada, which is like fried pork. It's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
You eat it with rice and salsa. It's so good.
All right, you're always going to see pork on my fork. Anything else you want to tell the people? Where can they reach you at once again?
FACEVSIT everywhere.
And do you have a website as well?
FACEVSIT.com.
Have you been sued by Stephen King yet?
No.
All right.
Nah, not yet. I'm not famous enough yet.
Let's make that happen,
If you want to
folks.
pop off, yeah, Stephen King, come after me.
All right, man. Well, you can find me at DJ Wonder. A lot of people don't do that. So if you want to be a real pioneer, go check me out at DJ Wonder. Also at Complete Animals. You can find all the episodes on youtube.com/DJ Wonder. Once again, Complete Animals and FACEVSIT. You've been initiated.
Oh, I'm initiated. Thank you.
All right. Adios. See, you like that? Bilingual.
Míralo.